Hi, I'm Bob with Stella Tours. Maybe you're a seasoned cruiser or you're on your first cruise. Well, one of the most important decisions that you'll be making is to choose the shore excursions for your ports of call. Your cruise line will offer a long list of options for you to choose from, and you'll have to select them carefully and rather quickly to make sure that you get a spot on each particular port shore excursion. A cruise line typical shore excursion consists of getting on a big bus with 40 or 50 other guests that takes you to the most interesting tourist locations in that port. And that's fine, but there's so much more to see beyond the port itself, and in fact, the most important tourist sites for that port might not even be in the port city at all. Well, this video discusses cruise line shore excursions versus planning your own private tours of the ports and beyond. If you find that we've provided you with some valuable information, we'd appreciate that you subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll help us achieve our goals and be able to continue to provide you with more travel videos in the future. Thank you. Planning your own tours isn't for everyone, of course. Maybe you're more interested in staying on the ship or just seeing the local areas near the port. We're a bit more adventurous, and very rarely do we take a cruise line shore excursion. We check out the cruise ship shore excursion offerings, do lots of research on each port and the surrounding areas, and then research local tour operators once we've decided what we want to do. So let's take a look at the advantages and disadvantages of planning your own private shore excursion compared to what your ship might offer. We cruise mostly on small ships like the Azamara line, Oceania, and also mid-sized ships like Holland America. Azamara especially is a destination-intensive cruise line, so their ports of call normally have interesting options for us to consider. Even if it's just a city tour, there might be a private tour option that you can get for less cost than what the ship might offer for something similar. We typically travel with another couple, so let's take that into consideration when we calculate the costs for our private tours. If you're not traveling with a companion and there are only two of you, most likely the cost can be a bit higher per person. But there are still advantages to private tours. So let's get started. Cruises are not inexpensive vacations, and adding shore excursions can add significantly to the total cost of your vacation. But by doing some basic internet research, you can find options for tours similar to what the cruise ship might offer, at possibly a significantly lower cost. For example, Bordeaux France, a fabulous city on the Garonne River in the most important wine region in the world. You could take a day-long cruise line tour of two of their selected chateaux, plus a stop in Saint-Emilion for around €279 per person, totaling €1,116 for a group of four. Or what we did was do some research on the other chateau options, select a couple, reserve the wine tasting experience directly on their website, and then we rented a car and we drove the beautiful countryside on our own with a visit to quaint Saint-Emilion for lunch. Our recent visit cost a total of €380 or €95 per person. Quite a difference in cost. And in addition, we got to make our own choices for which chateaus we wanted to tour. Another perfect example was our recent visit to Bilbao, Spain. Bilbao is a wonderful city and is the gateway to the Rioja wine region, the most important wine region in Spain. But the ship only offered city tours. We found a private tour guide for a whole-day tour with a visit to 3 bodegas and a visit to the ancient walled city of LaGuardia for lunch, and the cost for the tour was about €440 or €110 per person. Rioja is just a do-not-miss area, and the ship didn't even offer any tours there. Another example was our port call to Ravenna, Italy, a nice town, but with very little to see except for the mosaics in the Basilica of San Vitale. Again, we did a little research online and found that the walled medieval town of Gradara, selected as one of the most scenic small towns in all of Italy, was a short drive away. So we contacted a local taxi in advance to pick us up at the port and to take us there. and then drop us off at the famous World Heritage Site of the mosaics back in Ravenna. Lisbon is one of our favorite cities, but there is so much to see outside the city as well. One of the must-see places is the Palácio da Pena, about 30 kilometers outside of Lisbon. The palace is spectacular, and really, you shouldn't miss seeing it. You can get tickets online in advance for your visit, and then we were off to Fatima for a short visit to this important religious site. Then, a quick stop in the medieval walled town of Óbidos, and then back to the ship. It was a full day of touring that cost €200 per person. Now that might seem like it's quite expensive, but no cruise line offers something similar to what we got to see, and if they did, it would probably cost over €300 per person. And you'd be stuck in a huge bus with a strict timeline. We even do spontaneous things like pay a tuk-tuk operator to take us around Lisbon for a couple of hours.
Hi, I'm Duncan and welcome to my Lisbon tuk-tuk tour. Ready to go?
So there are some very positive reasons to go your own way while on a cruise. Save money, see important sites that the cruise ship options don't offer, have your own tour guide all to yourself, not be tied down to a strict large group tour itinerary, and the freedom to be spontaneous about what you want to see. There are reputable tour operators you can contact on the internet, and you should check out their reputation with TripAdvisor or some other means to make sure you're working with a reputable company. Cruise Critic is also a good source to go to for information on tours. Something to consider though, when you're on your own tour, you're on your own, meaning that if you have a problem or if you're delayed in getting to the ship won't wait for you. But in our 15 years of cruising though, we've never had an issue on our own planned tours. And if you rent a car in port, there is a bit of pressure driving somewhere foreign to you. For us, it's fun to figure things out, and Google Maps or Waze make navigating to your destination a breeze in most places. So we encourage you to do some research of the ports on your own and see if planning your own shore excursions might work for you. It most certainly does for us. All the best.